Now, our next speaker, Moser, he is the co-founder and CEO of this fastest growing musical festival in Switzerland. So marketing, sponsorships, to how do you actually deliver a standout festival experience? Let's give an energetic welcome to Loris.
So wow, hi everyone, and it's a pleasure to be here. Amazing, I haven't expected such a nice introduction. Thank you, Shannon, for that amazing intro. It's beautiful to be here, and I'm really excited and keen to share with you my journey of how we built Switzerland's fastest growing music festival. My name is Loris, and I'm the co-founder and the CEO of the Sunrise Festival. So I know how easy it is to lose focus in such a presentation. So my team had an idea just to make sure that you won't lose the focus on what I will present shortly, and we have hidden some small hints in form of those tickets, and you actually can win Sunrise Festival tickets for the upcoming Sunrise Festival in St. Moritz, and you just have to find those tickets in my presentation. Take a picture of them and send them to our Sunrise Festival Instagram account. And the 3 people who will find them and send us those pictures fastest will win 3 times 2 tickets for the upcoming Sunrise Festival. Cool. So how will I structure my presentation? Pretty easy, actually. After my intro right now, I will have this short giveaway to win those tickets, and will afterwards dive into the 7 key learnings which me and my team had during the last years of building that festival or those festivals. We have 2 festivals meanwhile. I will then dive into the 3 foundations of what actually provides and how we actually came to that point where we are right now. I will then shortly present Sunrise as a startup, as a team, before I will come to the end of my presentation. So, my favorite quote actually is the following: if everything seems under control, you're just not going fast enough. Like, listen, I know Sunrise is not really like the typical startup. That's why it's a huge pleasure to be here. But for all startup founders, all people dreaming big of having their own company, their own dreams, trust me, you will face difficulties, you will see challenges coming up, and sometimes you just don't know how to proceed and how to overcome those challenges. Let me tell you one thing: it's okay to feel pressure, it's okay to feel anxiety, it's okay to not know how or what the next step will be like. That's totally okay. It belongs to every startup, no matter if you're having a tech startup, a people startup, or in our case, a music festival. So, diving into 7 key learnings. Picture of me back in 2018. My lesson back then, dreaming big, having this idea of a music festival. Back then, just to give you small insights, me and my co-founder, Corinne, we had a party label called No Tomorrow Events. We had around about 13 events in major cities of Switzerland. Those events, we had over like 1,000 people. It's pretty successful. Zurich, Basel, Bern, St. Moritz. It was pretty fun to have those events, but back then we dreamed bigger. We grew older and we knew, hey, we want to do one big festival. We want to bring together thousands of people at one major festival in our hometown in St. Moritz. So what I learned back then, just dream big, be brave enough to dream big and to take those steps, and don't listen to people saying, nah, it's too big, start small. No, why should you start small when you can start big? That was my first key lesson, looking back, I had from 2018. So we convinced all those local authorities to support us, to make Sunrise Festival be like a real thing, like a true festival. We managed during the year of 2018 to get the first fundings, get the first sponsors, and we're ready to launch like the biggest marketing campaign ever in Switzerland. We had around about 200 of our brand ambassadors, of our influencers, promoting that festival. We're so excited. Hey, will take place in 2020. Let's go. Let's have this festival. What happened? Thank you, 20 Minuten. They called us Switzerland's Fire Festival. For those of you who don't know, the Fire Festival was a huge, disastrous festival, which actually should have taken place in 2017 on the Bahamas. It actually never took place. They had an amazing marketing campaign. Like everybody knew this high society festival. Sadly, the organizers overtook themselves, couldn't really organize it, and it turned out to be a huge fraud. So we, 2019, being super excited, super happy, and super thrilled for our first festival, what happened? We're called the Swiss Fire Festival. What I learned from that, rejection isn't a stop sign. Rejection doesn't mean the end. You can overcome rejection and go through it. So what happened next? We managed it through the year of 2018. We got the local funding. We survived being the Swiss Fire Festival, and we were finally ready. We sold tickets. We had our marketing campaign. We had our sponsors in place. Ticketing went really good. The first festival should have taken place after 2.5 years of planning in March 2020, 13th to 15th of March 2020. After 2 years of struggling, overcoming difficulties, working, long nights, long hours, we finally made it to 2020. Super excited, super thrilled. What happened then? COVID came, yay. So we're actually the first festival who had to postpone and to cancel, and postpone the whole festival for an entire 2 years. And that was the moment when me and my co-founder back then really thought, hey, that's the end. Probably we're done. It's over. I mean, we were in debt. We were so close to bankruptcy, and we didn't know how to continue. But we did. We somehow made it through. We somehow kept going. And what we learned to stay flexible. During the year of 2021, we knew, hey, we have to do something to stay on top of people's minds. We did an influencer contest searching the next big Swiss influencer just in order to do something and to keep going and to keep the brand of Sunrise Festival alive. Finally, 2022, after 3.5 years of struggling, of painful nights, of long hours, of long work, we finally managed to have our first premiere of the Sunrise Festival. 10,000 visitors joined us to celebrate this amazing premiere. The 3.5 long years, we finally made it. What I learned back then, 2022, celebrate all those small successes you and your team have. They're so powerful, they give so much, celebrate them. So, we weren't the Fire Festival anymore, we were a serious festival, scaling up pretty fast, and had a total of 18,000 people joining us in the second edition of the Sunrise Festival in 2023. And I realized back then, oh shit, this thing is getting really big, and we need to treat it like a business. From passion to business, we're still having this passion component at a very, very high level of importance to us. So I think one of the reasons why I'm here, I totally know that a festival is not like a typical startup at all, but we try to treat it like a startup. We try to grow fast and to make it as scalable as possible. That's why, since this year, we're having a second festival, the Sunrise Festival in Ascona, and having a summer edition of our festival. Having or welcome 20,000 people this year. With that, having 40,000 people visiting both of our Sunrise Festivals every year. What I learned this year is a people game. You can never, ever create something big, something huge, something impactful with not having a great team being besides you and delivering on a really A level. So to sum up my 7 learnings I had in the past 6 years. Dream big and be brave enough. Rejection is not the end. Failure means growth, can mean growth. It builds like a business, celebrates success, and in the end, it's a people game, a people business. So, our vision, how do we want to create Sunrise Festival? Why are we Switzerland's fastest growing music festival? Why are we called the Sunna at the Coachella of the Alps? Our vision, make Sunrise the ultimate festival leader, delivering inspiring all-around experience that keeps guests connected year-round. So we'll now dive into those three main pillars of how or where on the success and the rapid growth of our Sunrise Festival is actually built on. I really much believe that those three pillars also can be applied to other companies, other fields of startup events. So the first one, the full Sunrise experience. So our goal is pretty easy. We try to constant innovate, invest, and grow towards the experience of our guests. Our guests' number one goal. I can give you a small example. Our festival's on top of the mountain, like on 2,100 meters above sea level. It's pretty hard to get there. Guests need to enter a railway which takes them up to the mountain. So what sucks when you go skiing? The railway. You want to go skiing. You don't want to hang in a railway mountain. So what do? We took this railway, the Chantrellabahn, we just transformed it to a mobile, moving, secret stage in order to make the party start at the very, very beginning of the guest journey and not just at the festival per se. That's how we try to prioritize the guest journey from A to Z. One more example, Edelweiss, one of our major partners. They have those Edelweiss Bibeli, which you get on their flights. So, 2 a.m. in the morning, you want to go home, back to your hotel, long way down, it's cold, you're freezing, that sucks, right? So what did? We took those Edelweiss Bibeli and we just gave them to each guest on their way back home. We prioritized the guest journey from start to finish. So, continuously invest and innovate in your product. First year, we had amazing main stage, this big main stage dome. It was amazing, it was cool, it was pretty impressive. We then learned, hey, second year, guests they want more than one stage, and they want to especially enjoy the nature surrounding them. Why? We're having a beautiful surrounding. We're located in one of the most beautiful places in Switzerland. So we did, second year, we just took those stages, made the backdrop transparent, so guests could actually dance indoors while still having the beautiful backdrop of the ancient mountains. Next year, we realized, okay, guests want to have an outdoor experience, a day rave experience. What did? We built an outdoor stage, a huge outdoor stage. Also this year, what did? We realized, hey, guests that want to stay in touch with us during the whole year, not just once here in winter, but all year round. What do? We just built up a second festival in Ascona, which just took place 1 month ago in September for an amazing and fantastic summer season closing of the festival. So, find the sweet spot. What do you mean with find the sweet spot? In the first year, we mainly had commercial radio EDM headliners, those frequencies, Timmy Trumpet, Alan Walker, those names even older people probably know. What they realized, hey, in Switzerland, people are more like for techno. So we switched more to techno, still stuck loyal to our core for electronic music. 2024, we're building a new festival in summer. We had this Afro house trend, those kind of music kind of trend going on. What do? We booked many acts in this Afro house direction, still staying loyal to our core brands, to our electronic music experience. That's how we are finding a sweet spot. Second goal, building a 365-day experience presence for our audience and for our guests. We want to stay in top of everybody's minds and top of minds of our guests. I think you probably know this example of when I say toothpaste, of which brand do you think of? I think some of you will say Colgate, Others of you will say maybe Elmex. Whatever you will think of, that brand did the best job in terms of marketing. So when I say music festival, what festival do you think of? Probably the Coachella, the Tomorrowland, maybe the Open Air Frauenfeld. And that's what our goal is. I want that you guys think, when I say festival, that you think of the Sunrise Festival. And that's so important to stay on top of minds for guests. How do you do that? You establish a strong brand language and you stay in contact with your guests during 365 days in a year. So, second part of our foundation, branding, marketing, and identity. So, I think every brand, every company, every startup needs to have a strong core, a strong corporate identity, but you still need to be enough flexible to trigger motion while posting on Instagram, while doing the marketing stuff you need to do. You need to craft memorable messaging. As I said before, which brand, which music festival has the strongest mental availability? In my case, it was Coachella. Why? So pretty fun story. In our very first year, 2022, Pedro Steven came to the festival and did an interview with me. And they asked me, hey, Loris, where do you see the Sunrise Festival in 5 years? And I was like, hey, gosh, come on. We just survived the pandemic, 2 years of struggling, of fighting, no idea where we'll be in 5 years. And then I just thought of the Coachella, why they have the strongest mental availability. And I was like, hey, yeah, I know what you say. I want to be the Coachella of the mountains. Long story short, when you now Google Coachella of the mountains, Sunrise will be the first thing to pop up. That's how you craft memorable messaging. And of course, make sure that you stay in touch with your guest, with your customer, not just Instagram, not just on TikTok, but also on newsletter, WhatsApp, broadcast channels. Just everywhere you can, stay in touch with them, and that's how you craft the core of your brand. So how do we grow Sunrise? How do we gain the reach we have currently? So in the first year, as I said before, we had this huge influencer campaign, and this biggest influencer campaign of Switzerland, being called the Fire Festival of Switzerland. But it actually worked. We gained so much attention, so much brand awareness, with not even taking place at the first place. I mean, COVID, we had to postpone the festival due to COVID, but we had a huge brand awareness due to our influencer marketing. 2023, second years, we realized, hey, bigger ways, giveaways can gain lots of reach. So we had this one giveaway with Swiss Meme, the biggest Swiss influencer account, and we just reached and gained 6,000 new followers on our Instagram account within 24 hours in knowing, hey, giveaways are the new way to go. For now, 2024, we know, okay, influencer marketing, yeah, it's still really important. Giveaways, still okay, still a way to go. But how are we growing currently? We're growing and having viral POV, reels, viral content. This is first people content which you just take with a smartphone, film it, and trigger emotions in your community. For example, the reel you see here in the background, I think we had 400,000 views in that reel, like 12,000 likes, and gained 2,000 followers with just one reel. 90% of those followers, new followers, are in Switzerland. And that's how we're growing currently. So we had influencers, we had strong giveaways, and currently it's basically mainly the viral content which we are having. And you need to understand your customers. You need to understand what they want, who they are, where they live, how old are they, all those things. Take data and take advantage of the data you have and use it for ticketing, for marketing, for everything. And that's exactly how we currently are growing and how I think we had around about 24,000 followers in April. We're now having 38,000 followers on our Instagram accounts, growing massively just with small things which are working pretty well. So, make your brand a cult. Turn followers into fans, build emotional connection, and leverage it. How do we leverage it? So, easy example, I told you many times before, we're having our 200 brand ambassadors, those influencers. They now are able to sell tickets and having their own personal discount codes. So we're now using our 200 brand ambassadors to sell tickets for Sunrise. I think in Ascona, a summer festival, our best brand ambassador, he sold over 150 tickets with his personal discount code. And that's how we leverage those fan power. Last point, partners. So trust me, it's a hell of an expensive project to realize such a festival on top of the mountain. It's hugely expensive, and I really would not recommend it to everyone. If you want to build a festival, just don't do it on the mountain. Super hard, super difficult. It forced us to grow in partnership massively. From like around about 200K in revenue in the first year, we grew to more than $500,000 revenue in the second year. This year we actually fulfilled the magical 7-figure mark of just sponsoring contributions, and we're now aiming to double it in having 2 festivals by 2025. But why did we do that? We had to. Without those sponsorings, we would never, ever realize 2 festivals in such a short time. And how do you do it? You need to generate value for all parties involved, not just a logo on some logo wall. You need to integrate them in your experience. We're having Sunrise with their Star Zone, providing an amazing VIP experience for their guests. We're having Samsung having their new Galaxy AI. They did an escape room on a festival site, and you actually had to use those AI features from their new smartphone to win the challenge of the escape room. So the guest was impact and part of the experience. So it gained so much impactful value for all 3 parties, for the guests having great experience, for the brands having a close connection to our guests, and we as a festival obviously too. So again, coming to an end step by step, our 3 foundations, how we are building the currently fastest growing music festival, having the full Sunrise experience, having branding, marketing, and your identity on top, having partner sponsors to make the scaling possible. Dreaming big, being passionate, having some educational lessons, just be overwhelming by what you're able to do every day is something which I enjoy so much. I'm really, really thankful to be able to call my biggest passion my job, together with 15 people. As I said, it's a people game. I mean, I'm the one just bringing the vision. I'm the one standing on stage, getting the sponsors. But trust me, we wouldn't have the success we're having now without having an amazing team behind this festival who works the entire year to make it possible. Some of them are actually here. Nicolas Dutoit, my art director and co-founder. Stephanie, our senior brands manager. And Sarah, head of marketing. They're all here. If you want to say hello afterwards, we're happy to connect. But for now, I wish you an amazing startup night. Enjoy those 2 days in front of you. And I really hope that I could give you some value and some points you can take with you in case you want to grow and found your own company. Thank you so much.
Well done. What a project.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much.
You can count on me as being another participant or a guest at the festival. I'm very keen. All right, we have some questions. So audience, if you haven't already, pop in some of your questions in the app so I can see them here that we can ask Loris. Victor, this is nice. I just want to express my admiration for what you are doing. I attended your event in St. Moritz. We are waiting for ticket prices to drop.
Thank you so much.